Hello, I'm Dr. Smith. I'm a lecturer and writer in the areas of personal finance and investing, and today I'm going to be giving you some tips that might help you to avoid the next market bubble. Anyone who has ever blown a bubble knows that it gets bigger and bigger and bigger until it eventually pops. The same happens in investment markets when asset prices grow larger and larger and larger until eventually it pops and the asset price drops precipitously. Market bubbles happen because of people's exuberant behavior when it comes to investing. An asset's price will rise for no other reason than it has been rising. While it can be difficult to realize this in the midst of a market bubble, for all cases of bubbles, the asset's price is not worth anything close to what people are currently paying for it. So what are some tips that we might want to keep in mind that might help us to avoid the next market bubble? Well, we need to recognize that there are some instinctual, innate human characteristics that make us, people, particularly susceptible to bubbles. The first characteristic is known as herd mentality. People are social animals, and we want to be around and do what other people are doing. Oftentimes, this can be quite helpful. Think about the last time you purchased a new product off Amazon.com. Then you take some time to read the reviews of what other people thought of the product before you decided to purchase it. But when it comes to investing, sometimes herd mentality can lead us to engage in behaviors that we would not otherwise consider to be wise. The second reason that can lead people to become susceptible to market bubbles can be described by equity theory. While this may sound strange, we don't always judge our own happiness or satisfaction by our own happiness or satisfaction. Instead, we compare ourselves to others. Imagine for a moment that you've been doing a job that you absolutely love for the last 10 years, and you make a good salary. Further imagine that your company has now just hired a brand new individual to perform your same job, and you've just learned that they're making twice the salary that you make. What does this do to your personal satisfaction? Well, that feeling is equity theory. We judge our own satisfaction as we compare to others. When it comes to investing, equity theory can lead investors to covet the returns that others are receiving while the bubble is still expanding. You might be perfectly satisfied with the returns of your portfolio, but you just can't stand that somebody else is making so much more than you. The third innate human characteristic that can lead us to become susceptible to market bubbles is simply overconfidence. When you're overconfident, you believe that you know something that you really don't know. For example, during the dramatic rise in crypto assets, how many investors do you think kidded themselves into believing that they truly understood Bitcoin, that they truly understood blockchain and Ethereum? What likely happened is they saw a newscast or read one article on the topic and then became overconfident. They believed that they understood these assets when they truly didn't. Oftentimes, overconfidence can be very difficult to discern in the moment. It's not until the bubble burst that you realize that you really did not know that much. Taken together, herd mentality, equity theory, and overconfidence can lead even the most disciplined investor to fall prey to a market bubble. Understanding this can help you to avoid the next market bubble, but there's still one more characteristic that almost all bubbles share that puts us at risk: the belief that it's different this time. As an example, everyone believed that the dot-com bubble of the early 2000s was different. The internet was going to change things. And to a point, everyone was right. The internet did change things. But the internet was not enough to make unprofitable companies successful. And millions of investors lost billions of dollars betting on this bubble. The "it's different this time" argument can be very difficult to discern. Well, that brings me to the end of this video, and it's my hope that keeping these characteristics in mind will help us all avoid the next market bubble. I'll see you again next time when I'll be talking about more personal finance and investments topics.